What's going on, guys? Robber Games here, more Ratchet and Clank 2. Last episode when we left off, we came to this planet, planet Smog, and we discovered about Megacorp and their protopet shipments, and we also got a part of a gadget that will be collecting the rest of the parts, hopefully this episode, and yeah, we'll be using that soon after. But the next planet we're going to be going to, instead of coming to planet Grelbin, we're going to be going to Domosel, and there's going to be a gadget part here for us, as well as an item that will be very, very useful in getting all the crystals on a couple of planets to get a lot of bolts. And yeah, we will have to then go to Grelbin to get another hypnomatic part. But first off, we'll go to Domosel. And yeah, really cool planet, this one. Quite tough, but thankfully with our plasma storm, I'd highly recommend upgrading the plasma coil to the plasma storm. Makes this planet much easier. We should also upgrade our shield charger on this planet to level 2. First thing we're going to do when we come through here, you can see in the vendor there isn't anything new for us, but we're actually going to be doing a giant clank section, and yeah, this is quite fun. The fight can drag on a little bit depending on how sort of lucky you are and how quickly you manage to damage the boss. You'll see what I mean when we do it, but yeah, it's quite cool, quite funny, this one. So yeah, we're actually fighting an actual UFO, like some sort of 60s cheesy monster movie. But it can, like I said, the fight can drag on a little bit. The sort of UFO runs away until you destroy all the little drones with the green men you can see. Then lands and sort of spawns more, but you don't have long to get a lot of damage in before it flies off, which is mainly what makes the fight sort of drag on. You do have to be careful of the drones with sort of electricity going between their arms, because they do fling you back and can yeah, really interrupt you doing any damage to the boss. We actually get to show off all the Clank's attacks here as well. Because last time we were playing as Giant Clank, we did a skill point where we defeated the boss using only melee damage. Messed up here a little bit by these drones. Thankfully there's plenty of health. say your best option for dealing damage to the flying saucer is hitting him, but once it gets to a certain threshold, it makes this damaging effect, so you can't get close, and you just have to strafe using the, I find it easiest to use the catwalk, whatever it's supposed to be, to do damage to them with the missiles. But yeah, you can see the sort of green cannon thing that it's firing at us. We need to be careful for, and you can't actually move fast enough to avoid the attacks. The best way to avoid them is by jumping up in the air. So we've run out of ammo there. See, the bomb attack doesn't actually do much damage to it either. It's another reason why I'd recommend trying to hit the UFO if you can, because in that way you don't pick up all the missile ammo when you're, when he's flying around. And yeah, it makes it a bit easier to complete this section. Not quite sure what was going on with the screen there. Or Clank's eyes, for that matter. Though I think that's down to the HD collection. There's a lot of clipping issues with characters in the HD collection, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a cool little Clank fight out of the way. Like I said, it reminds me of like some 60s monster movie.
The mapper reveals secret areas on your world map. The secret areas are marked as green.
So this is a very useful tool. You can see that green area there and that one there. It basically highlights where any platinum bolts and other secret areas are, and yeah, helps you find the rest of them. It'll also help you find any crystals. If I go back to planet Tabora, they might only come up when you actually go on the planet. But yeah, any crystals that you need to find will appear on the map. So it allows you to get all of them there as well. Normally I'd go do the grind rail next, but this time I'm going to go this way just because I want to get our shield charger leveled up, and that will make it a lot easier to get a skill point on the grind rail. And you see the protopets sort of causing chaos, and obviously the extermination squads have to come out. And the protopets are quite annoying to fight. I'll see if any of them do it. But yeah, you might notice some of them sort of stopping, and they'll basically spit more protopets out their mouth. So there's the shield charger upgraded. Looks quite cool as well, but it's pretty upgraded. And that upgrades it to the Tesla barrier. So you can see it's literally shoots lightning at people. And does a lot more damage as well. You get a little bit more ammo for it, which is nice. But that'll make it really easy getting a skill point on this next section. And all you have to do is ride the grind rail without taking any damage. And yeah, you should get a skill point by the time you get to the end of it. There'll be a nice little Easter egg as well when we get to the end of the grind rail. Always make sure to take out all the protopets I can on the way as well. You can see, rather than having to swing our wrench at these guys or jump over them, the test barrier just takes care of it for us. Not a train I'd like to get on. So you can see we got a skill point there, Midtown Insanity. And that's, like I said, doing the grind rail without getting hurt. Not a terribly difficult skill point, but over here there's another hypnomatic part that we can pick up.
Sorry.
You found a hypnomatic.
So if you didn't know, you might remember there's a photo of Jak and Daxter and Clank's apartment that we explored near the start of the game. There's also a photo of them on this planet as well. But in Jak and Daxter 1, whenever you picked up any power cells, you'd always get an animation of Jak, doing like a hero pose, and Daxter would always do a little dance or play a little funny animation. So that's just Insomniac referencing that from one of Naughty Dog's games, because they have a history of working quite closely together. But you might notice a platinum bolt there, and that one took me ages to figure out how to get it. Yeah, it's surprisingly simple. But the main reason why I'd really recommend making sure you have the plasma storm, you just got a skill point there for our cumulative bolts, and that's on your profile. That's not, or the saves you have on your profile. That's not, per playthrough sort of thing. But yeah, in certain areas on this map, you can't actually progress until you've defeated all the enemies. And the plasma storm, where it does a good amount of damage and strikes all the enemies it passes, is really, really good at taking out all the protopets. We get a lot of bolts this planet as well because of the amount of enemies. But as well as coming out of the drains, the protopets also come out of these vendors. So it absolutely wipes out the enemies in areas like this. And yeah, this was one of the doors that doesn't open until you've taken care of everything. I think there is a limit for the amount of protopets that can spawn. They won't just spawn forever. You can see them spawning more there. Yeah, good way of earning some bolts, especially in New Game Plus where you get a bolt multiplier. Then we have another type of exterminator here that launches grenades at us. And there's also another skill point on this planet that the plasma core will make, or the plasma storm, sorry, will make it a lot easier for us to achieve. Fortunately, we removed all the robots, other than this guy over here that seems to be saved by some dodgy collision. So thankfully here there's another weapon vendor, so I'll be able to top up on our ammo. And in this next area, after we jump up here, you get a skill point for defeating all the enemies and making sure all the civilians are saved. And thankfully the plasma coil doesn't damage civilian, non-enemy targets. We didn't get it there, but got some more enemies to take care of. And yeah, thankfully we've got the skill point. There's only 1, 2, 3 of them that you need to... No, 4 of them that you need to defend. But like I said, the plasma storm really makes that skill point a lot easier to get. I'll just show off that skill point now. Okay. So yeah, just save all the tourists in the bank. So here, you might recognise that fountain and the platinum bolt that we saw earlier, where we got the hypnomatic part down there. This is a out of nowhere use for the Terminator. If you freeze all the water, fountain freezes and you can use it as a grind rail. And then you get your platinum bolt. And a taxi comes and it just takes you back to where you first arrived in this next area. I'm just going to top out on our plasma coil ammo quickly to make things a little bit easier. Thought those things broke on the wall. But there'll be another platinum bolt we can get in this area, but we'll have to do it later after we get the hypnomatic. A little bit annoying, but yeah, it's quite usual to have a bit of backtracking in a Ratchet and Clank game. You can see the same poster that we saw of Jak and Daxter and Clank's apartment there. So if you come out here and just stand next to the sort of vendors of the protopets, your shield can take care of them. And yeah, it should take care of any protopets that come close. So it makes it, the shield is a really powerful item when it comes to this level. Should be all of them. Come back over here and you can take out these guys from safety. So entering another supermarket, but there's a little bit more chaos in this one. If you can hit the target as well with the sort of plasma ball as it goes along, you will do quite a bit more damage to them. But just the electricity, like arcing electricity, does a lot of damage anyway. Takes out most targets in a couple of hits. The heavy bouncer is pretty good for this planet as well. It is a little bit inconsistent though, so I wouldn't rely on it super heavily, but yeah, it tends to be pretty good in most of the areas. So here we have to use the Terminator again. And another issue with the heavy bouncer is where the fire rate is so slow, if you don't get all the protopets, they'll just spawn just as many as before you fired it, before you can fire your next shot.
You're getting sleepy, very sleepy.
You are getting very sleepy.
Ah, a customer. You, sir, look like someone who could use a hypnomatic.
Okay.
Just bring us the parts, and we'll make it for free.
Ah, for a fee. A very small fee.
Just noticed in that cutscene, the characters are actually placed. When the camera faced Ratchet, you could see that grated off robot there. So yeah, it's kind of weird how the positions are reversed. But we haven't got all the hypnomatic parts. We need one more, but we'll be picking up that shortly. So even though we've completed this planet, I'm not going to wrap this episode up here. Just going to do a little bit more, and then that should make the next few episodes run a bit more smoothly for you guys. So we're going to quickly run over to planet Grelbin, and like I said at the end of the last episode, this is another crystal hunting planet, but the crystals are worth a lot more money than they are on planet Tabora, the desert planet. But we're going to go here and pick up the other hypnomatic part, and then hopefully at the start of next episode we can pick up the hypnomatic and the platinum bolt on the planet that we were just on, that I mentioned that you need the hypnomatic for. I find it quite funny how this, like, when you start off, looks like a really sort of quite I was going to say chill planet, but I didn't mean to make that pun. But yeah, like quite a sort of zen planet, you know, you got these rocks floating around, but it actually ends up being one of the most stressful planets in the series, I think.
It won't budge.
Violence is not the answer.
Can you move this rock, sir?
I am able.
And?
Patience, young one. For the rock to move, the forces of the universe must align.
So, can we make these forces align a little faster?
Ah, yes. The holistic resonance of moonstones may yet guide these wayward forces.
So we need to collect 9 moonstones, very similarly to when we repaired our ship. But prepare to meet one of the most annoying, toughest, insane enemies in the series. These Yeti guys. They do a lot of damage, they chase you forever, and they got a lot of health. You can see our shields already run out there. Yeah, that guy managed to withstand a bouncer shot basically, and he just ends up being so many of them, you know, just chasing you around the map. Thankfully those guys have stopped chasing you. And similarly to the sort of big flying enemies with the laser beam eyes, there's another tougher sort of mini boss type enemy on this planet. But yeah, you can see these guys take a lot of damage to take down. Managed to destroy them with their acid damage there. but they also give you a moonstone crystal. And then if we look on the map as well, just showing off the fact that all these blue dots, all the crystals, so you can see we've got quite a few to collect. And then there's a little green spot there, so that'll be a platinum bolt waiting for us. But yeah, this is like the most inhospitable planet in the universe. But it's a good, you know, you can make a lot of bolts on it, so that'd be why, you know, it sort of balances that out and makes it a worthy challenge for the amount of bolts you can earn. Sometimes as well, some of these like tougher mini boss enemies won't spawn until you collect the crystal, and yeah, then they come out. Bounce actually did a lot of damage to him there. It's very easy to get pinned in between a group of the Yesy type enemies and just get stuck. Just absolutely relentless. So we're going to collect all the crystals in this lower section.
Hello.
Didn't mean to do that, sorry. Sometimes as well we pick up a crystal and that'll cause a lot of enemies to spawn. And that should be all the crystals in this lower area. I don't think they came over his little stone circle barrier. Apparently they do.
Oh, yes. Your arrival with the moonstones is most fortuitous, for it is in this very moment that I am able to move the rock.
Gee, what a coincidence.
Thank you, sir. That was most helpful.
Your gratitude is comforting, child. I have also found a piece of something called a hypnomatic. You may have it in exchange for more moonstones.
Wait, I thought you had no need for material possessions.
Please, do not lay your burdens upon me now. I am weary from lifting the rock, and I must rest.
So we do need 16 moonstones. So we won't be able to get this episode. I couldn't remember how much it cost. So unfortunately, next episode we won't be able to go back to the previous planet to get the hypnomatic just yet. But we will get around to it. I do want to show everything off. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode and enjoyed a little taster of Planet Grelbin. Yeah, next episode I'll just go where that rock was removed from, and I think that should unlock the sort of next level, because if you look on the map here there's this lower section, but this top section isn't available to us yet. We have to basically lower these bridges, and then we can access that area to get the rest of the moonstones we need. But yeah, hopefully you guys, like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We've got a lot left to look forward to, and if you have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far and been finding it useful, please like and subscribe for more, and then you don't miss out on anything, especially when we complete this planet. It'll be fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.